After that came Kinshasa. Why did Dufresne take you with him?
Security. Dufresne was closing the Red Mercury deal, but he wasn't sure about his new allies. He kept me out of sight to step in if things went sour. That was when all of Lambert's planning paid off. I was on site and left alone, so I could listen in on Dufresne's meeting. We finally learned what he was planning.
You're late.
I had my reasons.
And what were they?
I believe I have just finished specifying that they were my reasons.
Gentlemen, it will be difficult to maintain our precarious mutual cooperation if we begin fighting before the meeting has even started. And it would be a shame if it were to fall apart now, when we are so close to success.
Let us keep it brief, so we do not have to spend too much time together.
Very well. My team is on schedule. We have selected the target and arranged for transportation of the devices.
My men have possession of the tanker. They are sufficiently skilled to steer it into Los Angeles Harbor.
The Red Mercury, taken from Rahim Kadir, has proven satisfactory. You will receive it as soon as you deliver the money.
And don't forget, we still require the President's itinerary for his Nashville visit.
We're going to nuke 3 targets at once.
Good. Now I would like to discuss how we will be shipping the Red Mercury devices.
Masood, do you mind?
Yes, what?
Are you serious? I will skin him alive! I will feed him his own balls!
What's going on, Masood?
Gentlemen, this meeting is over!
What? That arrogant bastard.
What do you propose we do
Let
now?
me see what is going on with that lunatic Masood. I'll contact you when I learn something.
Very well, but I won't be staying long.
This is even bigger than Lambert thought.
Stay out of sight. I don't want the others to know you're here. If things go awry, you will be our ace in the hole to get us out of here.
What do you want me to do until then?
Taxia is a known thief, and I have no reason to trust Masood either. Enter their suites and sift through their electronic correspondence. I want to make sure they will be with us when the day comes.
You should have told me earlier, boss. I don't have my equipment.
Stay out of sight and you won't need it. And Fisher, don't kill any of them. Until proven otherwise, they are our allies.
Sam, I want you to find whatever you can on Takfir and Masood. Now that we know they're involved, we have to know about their organization.
All right, ladies and gents, welcome back. I know it's been a long time since we had an episode, but it is time to finish this game up. This is definitely a tough mission to do. It's very glitchy as well. There's no way, at least to my knowledge, no way at all to complete this mission while achieving without being seen once. Actually, you'll easily see that we're never seen, but there's a glitch for some reason in this game, and I've explained this many, many times before, that for whatever reason this game decides to kind of not get the end statistics right. So it's going to say we got caught once, even though we never really actually got caught. We're going to be a ghost as much as possible. There's going to be a few distractions that I do, and then let's get through it. So here you can be very, very quick and get over to here and move on to the next section. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait quite a while before the light turns out. Only way to get through that section is when the light is out. You cannot get through it if there is light, period. There's just not enough areas for the 2 guards to go. They'll always be able to see you into the door, so you got to wait at least until that light is off, or get through there quickly in my time. One of the biggest things on this mission is the randomness of when the lights go out. There is no rhyme or reason to it, meaning that there could be a very long period of time between lights going out, or it could be a very short period of time. I haven't been able to find an exact method for why this works, so all I can really say is you got to get lucky with how kind of the lights are going on and off. Sometimes you're going to have to wait a little longer than others, depending on that situation. As soon as you grab this, go into the room on the left. Now, whatever you do, don't immediately go into the next area we need to go to, because it will glitch the enemies. So let's say the power comes off here when they're in the middle of talking, and you can literally go to the next area. Don't do it, because it will glitch the enemies. If you move too far forward and do the next objective before they're done finishing their conversation, at least in my playthroughs of this, they stood still and never moved from this exact spot. Gotta let them finish, so then you can move forward. Again, I can't really tell you exactly what to do. You need to follow somewhat of what you see me doing, but the lights turning on and off could be different for your playthrough. Therefore, there is a little bit of waiting and not waiting in certain sections, depending on how lucky you get with the lights. So once the lights are out, if they are, you can enter the door and you can go through. Actually, you can go through even if the lights are on. The guard that is sitting there won't see you, and the other one that's sitting right here on the computer won't see you as well. As long as you stick to the right side, you're good. Now, once you come up here, if you've done everything in the time that I have, this guard will not be in sight yet, so hurry up and get across this, and then wait at the corner here. You're going to see the guard. Now, the biggest thing about the guard is he will come through this way, then he's going to do a little turnaround, but then he'll turn right back around. So you want to make sure that you don't prematurely start moving. You want to continue to wait until he does this little second one, because as you can see, he turns around, then he is going to turn back around, and it just doesn't give you enough time to do anything you want to do. So just wait until he gets into his room, and once he does, you're free to go. Also remember, again, this is the version 2 of Splinter Cell Double Agent, so because of that, the original Xbox version, enemies can hear you very, very easily. This is on elite mode. This is very, very tough to do. There was a lot of restarts, a lot of trial and error, learning their patterns and learning whatnot. And there's a few moments where I speed things up a little bit because timing windows can get really, really bad depending on how good you get with the lights. So for me, I needed to distract this guy here a little bit by walking, so he'll come a little bit quicker, and this will give us a better opportunity to move into the next area instead of taking too much time. I don't normally like to do those types of distractions, but they work in this case because of just how you can't really... It's very difficult to know exactly when the lights are going to go out. This level is completely intent on having the lights out when you're moving. Otherwise, you're going to be seen quite easily. So this guard doesn't actually move until you get into this area. He is a scripted guard, so he essentially just kind of stays there and wait until you start to enter this little area here, and then he'll move out. So you'll always be in the same exact spot. However, the lights could be different. I had a pretty good kind of light rotation right here, so I was able to get in. Also, give a little bit of distance when you're walking on glass, because you are heard even if you're going very, very slow. So give a little bit of distance so he cannot hear that. Don't worry about the camera seeing you and enter the room. Again, I cannot stress enough how everything you see me doing is exactly what you need to do, but the timing might be different. Because of that, when I come through here, you're going to see the timing is kind of perfectly set up for the lights to shut off. However, that might not be the case. They may be already off when you're entering this room. Then they have to turn on. If that is the case, you need to be careful, because if the lights are on and you're standing right where I am right now, you will be seen by the guy downstairs. So only enter this room when the lights are off or the other guy is not down there looking in that direction anymore. Wait at this corner right here. The reason that we are waiting is because he's going to do a little turnaround move. It's a very quick one, but you don't have enough time to grab what you need to do in the safe in the amount of time that I came to this spot and then do that. Now you can, that he's turned around once, he won't look in here again. Do your, retina thing, and what we're going to do is we're going to jump off of the balcony and then head down to the first floor. It also happens that I had a really, really good light on and light off situation, which allowed me to actually do this room rather quickly.
Do you have news for me?
Good news. Takfir and Masood both seem to be playing it straight.
I want to see you right now.
Emil's waiting in 901. and
Be
he's
careful that
not
you don't
the
step
patient
on something that's going to cause the guy upstairs to hear you. Now, as you'll notice here, we're going to get very, very lucky with the light wanting to come off. So because of that, because we're able to do it so early in this room without having to wait for a few rotations, we can actually get in here, grab this. You don't have to be super, super quick. Even when the light turns on, you'll still have about 1 or 2 seconds. But again, this is only pertained to exactly the way that my light switching kind of happened. Otherwise, it could be very different. You might have to wait a few rotations until you get the proper one. So what's happening now is this guard's going to be coming my way, except he's going to move to the left. This is going to allow us to go to the front of the door. And we're going to wait for a guard. Essentially, you want to wait until you see the guard coming to your right or left. For me, he's going to the left, and then he's going to come back to the right. So since that, I'm going to wait here until the guard starts showing right here in the doorway. Doesn't really matter what your light thing is right now, because you'll be able to take him out before he gets to the camera. You have to knock him out. This is guard number 1 that you have to knock out. You can't enter Emil's room for whatever reason without taking this guy out. I know it makes absolutely no sense, because Emil is here. He's supposed to be here, so there's no reason why we can't sneak in here and talk to the guy. So I don't understand why we have to take him out, but Emil will not open the door unless you do so. And for me, I'm able to get past the camera, but you can also get past the camera with the light on if you got to be smart, though.
The meeting ended sooner than expected. Were you able to accomplish everything?
I got what you wanted.
Excellent. How do you feel about loyalty, Mr. Fisher?
There have been a few times where it was the only thing that kept me alive.
I value few things in this world more than loyalty. Without it, there is no foundation for any greater enterprise. That is why Jaeger had to be disposed of.
Why are we talking about this, boss?
Because we have a traitor.
Says who?
During the meeting, Masood received a call from one of his men. The news was important enough to end our discussion.
Are you absolutely sure of this?
It has been confirmed by Tokfir, who has his sources.
So, what do we do now?
You kill him.
Kill him?
There is very little trust between the 3 groups. Removing Hamza will put Masood greatly in our debt. And I want that leverage.
Did you say Hamza?
Yes. Hisham Hamza. Do you know him?
I've shot him once or twice.
Then you know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Good. I'd recommend leaving something unpleasant in his car. It'll be faster than trying to track the man himself down. Any questions?
Not a one.
Very well then. Radio me once you deal with Hamza.
Lambert, come in.
Fisher, what is it?
Hisham's in Kinshasa, and Emil ordered me to kill him.
We know. The CIA just asked for our help. Hamza was infiltrating Masood's organization, but his cover was blown.
Where is he?
Hiding in the pool area on the lower floors. Take the elevator.
Lambert, Emil wants a body or else.
I understand. Do what you can. You can get Hisham out through the parking garage.
All right, so here we're just going to wait. Now, you saw what I did with the camera thing. That's exactly what you want to do. Wait till the camera's looking the other direction, get around, then you should be fine. Now, also, I want to make a note that it doesn't matter if the guard in the room that we were in before we did the cutscene hears you drop the body of the guy that we took out in the hallway. That doesn't matter. They never come out in the hallway. That is, you'll never have a found body, so don't worry about that. Again, you need to have a good light on and off, and I was having some very, very bad light on and offs, so I went ahead and made this faster by doing exactly what I just did. It's going to be different for you. Here, once you drop down, stay to the outside against this wall. If you don't, the guard on the very, very end is going to see you every time, and you won't be able to do this. So stay on the outside as much as possible. Turn off this. Now, you don't necessarily have to turn it off, but you do want to turn it off in this situation since we're kind of ghosting it, because it makes this guy move And if he doesn't move, he's always staring in the direction of where you need to go. So either that or you're going to have to use some type of distraction. So that is the best distraction in this room, in my opinion, to do. Now here, you want to wait till he turns around, and once he does, you should be good to go. He's turned around, and we can move forward. Still be quiet. There's a guy right here. You're on glass, so be careful. You need to trigger this scene here, so what you're going to do is move a little forward, and then you can move back. It just need to trigger the conversation.
How am I I thought the rebels were on our side. Then pay them to stop shooting. No, I haven't seen the traitor. And no, I'm not going out to look for him. It's easy for you to say. Nobody's shooting at you.
Once the conversation is done, this guy's going to be coming back this way. You cannot move into that wall up there. Trust me, I tried. However, he will see you every single time you try to get against the wall. There's just enough light for him to be able to make you out. Wait till he passes. Again, don't move too quickly, as the glass will give you away. So wait till he gets a little bit past. Once he does, we're going to move into the next room. The next room, I tried a bunch of different methods, and there's literally... Okay, I'm going to say this. You can do it the other method, but I don't recommend it because it won't work every time. This method essentially works every time, which is get on the pipe and we're going to whistle. However, there is another method that you can do on here, which means you can do the same exact thing you see me do here. Get on the pipe, move all the way down to the very end, and then you need to wait about 3 patterns before there'll be just enough time for you to jump down from the pipe and then get to the door. But that takes a very, very long time. However, if you do it this way and you time it correctly and you use the whistle exactly when they both meet, it'll work. However, if you do it too soon, the guy on the left is going to hear the whistle. This guy that's in the right, he will not hear it for whatever reason. It's only when they're together will the guy on the right actually be the one that you need to move. Now that you've done that, he's going to slow. The other guy should be turning around. Sometimes the guy will actually follow him too. It's still the same. You'll still have enough time. It's just giving you different options. Here, you need to wait. Sometimes there will be a guy, depending on how long it took you to get through the room, coming. As you can see him right there. You will get seen on elite mode. You cannot go through there. At least I tried a few times. But there's just too much light right there that he sees every single time. And then start shooting. So just wait for him to pass, and then we can head on to the next section, which will be technically the final part of this level.
Freeze!
You're hurt.
It's just a flesh wound.
I've heard that before. How do we get you to the parking lot?
We walk? I'm gonna need your help with this one, Sam. I was counting the bodies as I walked in here this morning.
Any of these guys about your size?
Don't know.
All right, so with this next section, we're going to lead him to the exit. This can be definitely difficult because it is random. And I mean, there's so much to explain during this that we have a lot to talk about. So if you don't see the guy, sometimes you actually can see the guy already moving back in the opposite direction. At that point, go ahead and go. You're perfect. Get to the exit and do the pick locking and lock picking, and then you're good to go. However, if you see him in the pattern that he's for me, because this happened, I did this like a bunch of times where I replayed the level over and over to try to find the best strategies. So he was in different spots during different playthroughs. This is just happens to be the one he's done for me. So stand right here. It's far enough back to where he won't see you. Otherwise, again, once you enter this room, he'll be coming away from you, and then you can literally go straight through, and that's probably the quickest way, but that does not always happen. It just depends on when you come through here. It happened different times for me. So you should have enough time at this point to do the lockpicking. Now this next section I tried over and over and over again. I probably did this next section for at least an hour. I did it with him following me, and then with him out following me. You cannot do it with him following you unless you take everybody out. And we don't want to do that. So we're going to make him wait here. Again, you can have him follow you. You can get to a certain point. But once you get to a certain point, a guard will automatically see him, even though he's still in the dark. And I'll explain where that is. So let's say he was following you to this point. You're still good. When you get to this right here, after this turn, there's that little open right there. The guard doesn't see you when you go through this open, but he sees him every single time. It's scripted. So if you decide to try to do that, it isn't going to work. You're going to have to tell him to wait, then maybe take out the guard. This actually works. I don't understand how it works, but it does. Make him wait and then move on. Again, getting by these guys, not very difficult. Be slow. Watch out for the lights. You should be good. This guy sometimes will go to the left or he'll go to the right. This time he went to the right. That's fine. If he does, you'll be able to go a little quicker if he goes to the left, but you'll have to take a little bit more time if he goes to the right. You can still get by him. I recommend leaving the door open. And the reason I say this is because it takes longer for him to open doors and he could get caught. So leave the doors open. That'll allow him to get in and quick without being caught, because sometimes it does not work. How do I mean this? I mean, sometimes you can get all the way to here and then tell him to follow you and he'll be caught every single time. So this is something that just doesn't work all the time. But if you want to do this without having to take him out or killing someone else and then using their body, this is how you're going to have to do it. So when this guy comes around the corner, you got to be very, very quick and take him out. You're going to want to grab him, drag him a little further back, because that's going to give you further distance away. So sound. He's only right there for just a split second. So you got to get up on him quick. You're probably going to fail the first few times. If you don't care about doing this without saving, like I care, because I try to save the least amount of times as possible. I haven't saved in a long time at this point. So I make it a lot more tougher for myself, but you don't have to do that. Save every chance you get. Nobody's keeping score. There's no achievements. So you might as well, right? Once you knock him out, then we're going to call for our guy. Sometimes he will not come. You can wait forever.
Bishop, come to my position.
This is just a random thing. Sometimes you'll like go back into the other room after you've called him because he hasn't came, and then you'll see that he's taking fire from the guys outside. So this really is a random thing. I have not found a way to make it work 100% every time. It's just random. So you just got to get lucky that he'll make it through without being seen. I found I had better luck when I kept all the doors open and I went with the time that you saw me do.
Give me a hand here. This is the place. Leave me here. You've got a chopper to catch.
You sure you're gonna be okay?
Positive. Thanks, Sam. I owe you my life.
Nothing you wouldn't have done for me.
Yeah, but you didn't need the help.
You'll get yourself fixed up.
Sam, I want to give you a little present. It's a syringe containing 1 dose of a combination coagulant and adrenaline booster. If you're wounded really badly, it will stop the bleeding and keep your heart pumping. That's the idea, anyway.
So it'll take me longer to die.
Well, it's supposed to buy some time for help to arrive. Of course, it's never been field tested.
Thanks.
Just do me a favor. Don't put yourself in a position where you'll need it.
All right, final section.
Have you found Hamza?
No, he's gone into hiding.
That is unacceptable. I expect more from you. But we are out of time. Clear the extraction area so our helicopter can land. We will discuss this later, I promise you.
All right, so in the section up ahead, you are going to have to take everybody in that section out. Just a knockout, but it is mandatory or else you won't be able to land your helicopter. So if you were able to get the timing I did right there, that'll happen every single time. Right here, if you do the exact same time that I do, then you're going to get the same exact thing. There will be no deviation from this right here, as you don't have to worry about a light coming on or off anymore, and the guards will essentially be doing the same exact thing. So everything you see here, you should be able to pull off exactly when I do. What I'm going to do, because this guard is going in the other direction there, we're going to get his attention so that we can go around to the other side. Otherwise, it's going to take a little bit longer for him to kind of make his complete all the way around. So it's just better to kind of let him see you slightly here so you can make your way around and he's distracted and he doesn't do a turnaround too quick, and you can get into the little hole that you need to. Vent. Although it's not a vent. I guess it is. It's not a grate. I don't know what you call it. But now we're in the section where you have to take everyone out. There is a total of 4 people. So if we added up all the people that we have to take out, and there's no way around it, trust me, I've tried. If you're doing it ghost as much as possible, you got to take out the one guy first, who is the guy that essentially is in the room where Emil is, and you need to take him out in order to get by him. There's him. Who else did we take out? We took out him. We took out the 2. This is where I want to explain something to you as I count these. All this is the easiest part. It's just being stealthy, everybody. You just got to knock them all out. There's no strategy to this. Just knock them all out. So let me explain something that's going to happen. When we come to the end screen, you're going to see it say that I took out 7 people. I'm trying to count. We know this is 4. So I think it's right. So 4 people in this area, right, that you have to knock out. 2 people that were next to the exit point for the guy that we escorted. So that's 6, and then the 1 guy is 7. So if you get, I don't know if you can get underneath that. I just don't see. I don't see a way, because you have to take out these 3 here, and you have to take out the 1 we just took out. Then you have to take out the 2 next to the car. And you have to take out the guy with the meal. So that's 7 people that are mandatory. Maybe it's different on the PC version. This is the Xbox version, so I'm not 100% sure. But... Or actually, there is no PC version. There's only an Xbox version, right? Or a PS2 version. So, yeah, I don't know of any other way that you could do this with less knockouts. Essentially, those are mandatory knockouts. As much as I love to try to figure out how to get around... I literally had got to the door with Emil, but again, he won't let you through for 1. And then the next 2 guys that we took out were by the cars at the end. And those cars, you have to take them out because you have to escort the guy and have a cutscene. Cutscene won't go if those guys are still moving around. Can't do it that way. And of course, you cannot... you know what? I mean, yes, you have to take out everybody. I mean, in this section, that's just what you have to do. But other than that, ladies and gents, that is it. That is my explanation for Splinter Cell Double Agent version 2. Fun mission. Very, very difficult to do. A little glitchy in some places. But that's just the nature of this game. This game, I feel, is... I don't know. I feel... This is why Chaos Theory is still my best. Even though this one is so good... But I feel like there's just, maybe they had to rush a little bit more than they needed to, and they weren't able to get the statistics screens and the stuff like that done correctly. As you can see, nobody ever shot at me, which means nobody ever saw me. Someone may have glimpsed me, but that does not count as being seen. Because the moment you're actually seen, they start to shoot at you. That's it. That's point blank. Everybody that's played this game knows those are the rules. So I'm not sure. Maybe when it says someone saw you, it's because he gets seen while he's coming, you know, to find you. Maybe that's why. I don't know 100%. That's all I can say. But other than that, there's 2 missions left, I believe. And thank you all for tuning in. Love you all. Please take care of yourselves. And of course, I will see you on the next one. Peace out. Bitches.